Hi, just wanted to make a quick video and address something that's really important. I know everybody's talking about the coronavirus and COVID-19 and all this quarantine and how bored everyone is and all these different things. But there's something really, really important that I wanted to just make everybody aware of. Back a few weeks ago when the quarantine was announced, immediately it came to my mind how serious the repercussions would be for a lot of people because for domestic violence and child abuse victims, for instance, being trapped with your abusers nonstop with nowhere to escape them for any period of time is really, really a terrible thing. And without going into great details, I can tell you with confidence that I'm sure that um, a lot of horrible things, let's just put it at that, are going to be happening and are happening every day due to the quarantine. And I wanted to let everyone know that basically, as a society, knowing that this is going on, if we can all step up and rally around and try to find some way to create ways for people that are trapped to get help, if we can get creative and come up with solutions and make people feel supported and pay attention to what's going on with our neighbors. And if you suspect something or if you think something's going on, I just want to encourage you to take action because you may just very well save somebody's life right now. I know that that sounds pretty drastic, but I can tell you right now, one of the reasons I didn't make this video earlier is because it makes me very emotional to think about all the things that are happening right now due to people being quarantined with their abusers. And I can tell you that there are many times during my childhood that had there been a quarantine like this and had I not had the escape, the respite of being able to leave my home for a few hours or for some period of time, I would not be here today. I can tell you that with certainty. So I just wanted to encourage you while you're all at home and thinking about all these creative ideas, if we can rally together and come up with solutions, anything that can possibly help these people that are suffering, these children that have no voice, and just really, really be proactive. Do something. Abuse is everybody's business, and especially now more than ever. It breaks my heart to say this, but it's almost certainly true that by the time all of this is over, there will be far more injuries and possibly deaths from domestic violence. Child abuse has just skyrocketed. I mean, I track this stuff because it's what I do, and it just guts me. I read these articles, and the severe child abuse, the severe domestic violence, the death-causing injuries, they're really, really going up because it's just relentless. These poor children, these poor victims, these poor women, men, children, everyone, there's no escape for them. And it's an opportunity for us all to step up. I was looking for a vehicle to help to explain to the many people that I'm talking about why this is relevant and what this means and what does it look like. What does it mean to be trapped, quarantined with your abuser? And I found this documentary on YouTube. It's very, very, very intense if you can handle it and you really want a glimpse into domestic violence. I highly encourage you to watch it. It is called, hold on, I actually wrote it down so you can screenshot it or whatever. It is called, whoops, my hair. It's an HBO documentary. It's called Private Violence, and it's on YouTube. You can go on Google and look for it too. It's really, really well done, and I will tell you, as a survivor of abuse myself, it's very authentic, and I really appreciate the reality of it. In fact, the reason I bring that up is the primary case in there is a woman that was married to her abuser. She had a very young daughter, and he basically, after she left him, he kidnapped her and her daughter, put them into his 18-wheeler truck cabin, and for a period of 4 days, beat her relentlessly in front of their very, very little daughter. And um, basically nearly beat her to death. And it's a miracle she was not dead by the time an officer pulled her over. And I mean, the pictures are just horrendous. I will show you just this. That's just one frozen moment of part of the injuries she sustained being in that cabin. So the relevance of this is, if this happened in 4 days, I mean, her knees are like beaten to they're not recognizable. It's just literally her entire body was just broken. If that happened in 4 days with no one seeing what was happening to her in the hands of a very violent abuser, what do you think is going on now with weeks of people being trapped in a home with no officer going to maybe possibly do some traffic check and pull somebody over? If you're in your home and there's no reason to have an officer come, nobody's coming. Can you imagine how terrifying that would be if you were in your house and you knew there was no help coming for you? And in front of your children, this poor woman, the way he manipulated her in her abuse with her child and not feeding the child. And I mean, it's so disturbing. So it's like, if you can't handle it, don't watch it. But if you really want to get a little insider look into what it looks like and what it means, what this quarantine means to domestic violence and child abuse victims, I just really encourage you to watch whatever part of that you can stand to watch. It's very disturbing, but it's very real. And on top of that, if you have any people in your social circle, in your life, if you see anything that is suspicious or you get a gut feeling about something, please take action. Please do. You may just very well save somebody's life. And I say that with all seriousness. It's everybody's business, especially now. And I think this could become an opportunity for us as a society to really rally around and create new ways to help victims. So if you guys have ideas or thoughts or anything, I would love to have like a podcast or some kind of a venue where I can have experts at my disposal. Like my foster mom is incredible. She's had hundreds of children in her house, and actually thousands come through her home over the past 35 plus years. She has a wealth of information. She's seen all kinds of things. She's actually taken children into her home that were completely beaten near to death, and she's adopted them. She's a phenomenal woman. She became like the president of the Foster Care Association. She's got so much knowledge to share. I would love to get people like her, and like this woman in this documentary is amazing. The social worker in here is amazing. I would love to get people together so we can have forum discussions and with people just answer questions and help us to understand what we can do to help solve these problems. Because if we all work together, we can make a huge dent in this problem and we can save lives. Every day that goes by into this quarantine, more people are, I don't even want to say it, more people are probably dying, and it's just reality. We're all so busy watching the coronavirus numbers ticking away, how many deaths were here in this state, how many deaths were in this state. But you know, the tragedy is there's no timeline and there's no chart tracking how many children are dying from horrific relentless beatings that are going on for the past few weeks. And nobody's seeing the bruises. Teachers are the ones that usually report the most. Take that out of the equation. There's nobody looking at how they are. There's no one seeing if they're acting strangely. There's nobody seeing the bruises. There's no one seeing if they're losing weight. When I got removed out of my home, I was 84 pounds. I was almost dead. And were it not for very kind, wonderful Christian, proactive people that just kept pulling me out of my house, I would not be here today. But I'm just telling you, it's like they were not even in the system. They had nothing to do with foster care. They were just caring, loving, kind people. And that was many, many years ago, because now I've been working with abuse victims for over 20 years myself. But I tell you this just to say, it's like it's going to take a multitude of people like that to rise up and just do something. You don't have to be trained. You don't have to know anything. All you have to do is open your eyes and you will see the need all around you if you're looking for it. Because we are all in this together. And, this private abuse, this isolation that's just skyrocketing everything, it's not going to stop until people start paying attention to what's going on in their neighbors' houses. I know when I lived in an apartment, I was just like thinking of this the other day. When I lived in an apartment, I know the neighbors heard through paper thin walls. I know they heard me being brutally beaten. Nobody did anything. And I'm not saying that so you'll feel sorry for me, but I'm just telling you, I know it's happening everywhere, all the time, right now. And please don't let the excuse that it's none of your business make you stay silent. Please do something. There's so many innocent children and people that are relying on someone to step up and help them. And, in this documentary, this private violence HBO documentary, one of the things they talk about a lot that I bring up a lot when I'm doing my discussions is the question people ask. It's like, well, why didn't she leave? Why didn't she leave? Why doesn't she just leave? And they say that with no understanding as to what that entails for the victim. Like with this woman, she did leave. At the end of the documentary, they're saying she did leave. And that's where she got forcibly kidnapped and got beaten almost to death. So it's so easy to judge people without understanding what it's like. It really, really is. And I just want to encourage you. It's like if we could just have a discussion. I wish I had a forum where I could talk to you and we could have a discussion and we could take questions and I could bring my foster mom in and I could bring people like this amazing social worker in. I could bring this other domestic violence survivor in. I wish we could have these discussions and discuss how do you help and create ways all together. I mean, we have such amazing technology. There have to be ways that we can apply that to help victims. So much more I could say. I'm very passionate about this, but I just wanted to put that out there and let you know that there is something really meaningful that we can all be doing. I know it feels monotonous for a lot of people, like, oh, we're in quarantine. What are we going to do today? We're just bored. If you can pay attention and see that something odd is happening, wherever it is, if you happen to be in your yard or you hear noise or you have a gut feeling or you happen to be doing your essential grocery shopping, whatever, please be involved. There's always something you can do. If you see something, say something. I'm just going to wrap this up for now, but if you have ideas, guys, please leave comments. My name is Raven Faith. If you want to look for me, I'm on YouTube. I have a few videos on there about bullying, cyberbullying, and domestic violence that I made in the past. I also have a book on Amazon that is my story of my survival and the 3 generations of abuse of my family. It's called Perfectly Broken. If you're bored and you need something to read, it's not light reading, it's very intense. But if you really want to understand domestic violence and you want to read something meaningful or watch something, you can go on YouTube. You can watch this amazing documentary that's so well done by HBO, Private Violence, and try to learn how to make the world a better place during this time. We could really make the world better if we use this time to learn more about what we can do to help our whole society, instead of being so busy like we all were a few weeks ago, just scrambling around doing our own obligations. So I just encourage you all to reach out. And also, if you're being abused, please reach out. People do care. And look for ways. I mean, this poor woman in the back of the 18-wheeler, she's talking about ways she was trying to see if she could get help. And her little daughter's coloring book, she was like, I was imagining if I could tear the back of one of the pages out and with a crayon write help me and stick it in the window. She wondered if he would find it or if somebody might help her. There are things we can be doing that can really move the needle in the right direction on this. I hope that when this crisis is over, that we as a society will be more compassionate. We will be more aware of what really matters. We'll have new priorities, and we will protect each other and take better care of each other and our planet. Please stay safe, stay well, and take care of each other. All right? Thank you.